I'm going to open the meeting, and seeing no public comment on closed session, we're going to adjourn to closed session. Returning from closed session, we have nothing to report, so please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Only Joe DePaula is absent. Notice to the public. Any member of the public wishing to address the governing board on a topic within the subject matter jurisdiction of the district, but not on the agenda, may do so during the public comment period identified on this agenda. By law, subjects not on the agenda cannot be acted upon by the board except to briefly respond, clarify, or refer to staff for review and presentation at a future meeting. The board president will recognize you for public comment on matters on the agenda at the appropriate time. Correspondence?
None.
Consent agenda? None. Public comment? Seeing no public. I'm assuming there's no comments.
We're all watching at home.
That's right. Guests and presentations?
No.
None. Director's report.
Okay, the budget overview with 75% of the fiscal year over. We've spent 73% of the personnel budget, so that kind of matches up. And 61% of services and supplies. The personnel budget doesn't include the money that was okay to be transferred over to increase the family medical coverage or to the increase in salaries for the library assistant 2 positions. So once that moves over, it'll give us more cushion on the personnel budget.
Okay.
We're working on next year's budget. And we're adding some computer components to update our wireless and install a new firewall. We've gotten discounts on those through the E-rate program, so those will be cheaper. One thing I would like to do next year is to have the Dixon Tribune digitized, so it'll be available online with an indexed copy going back to 1874.
Cool.
There are some years and months missing in the earlier times, but it'll be the first time that everybody will have access to an indexed copy of it. I've talked it over with the Historical Society, and it looks like they are willing to supply at least partial funding for the project too.
Great.
So,
Oh, good.
we had a meeting with them yesterday and another one a couple weeks ago, and it looks like that it's a possibility that they'll work with us to get that online. So I think that'll be a real good historical resource for the community.
Yeah.
Library activities. I served as a judge for the Battle of the Books at Gretchen Higgins on Tuesday. That was fun.
Oh, good.
And Jim's doing a family reading night tonight at Anderson as kind of a kickoff to the summer reading club activities. He's promoting summer reading club there. We're working on getting the prizes and events ready for that, and we're trying to get the Mayfair Parade entry organized. And that's pretty much it as far as the library activities go.
Sounds good. All right. Ongoing business.
This is the policy 4001, the rules of conduct that we talked about last time for how to deal with repeat offenders that are minors.
Hey, how's that going?
Fine.
With what we discussed last time, with the minors that were causing the problems, did the parents ever?
One parent called me and talked to me and asked if her son could come to the library for tutoring sessions only. And I agreed to that. So he's coming, getting tutoring, and then leaving. None of the other parents approached me, so the kids are still banned until I hear from them.
Okay, great.
The wording of the new policy is the same as last time, except for the highlighted section was added by the attorney. Joe wanted to add the section, if the minor was at the library with a school-related activity. The attorney thought that the next clause gave me a lot more options. So he added, or if the misconduct occurred while the minor was going to or coming from school or a school-related activity. So that's the only change from what we discussed last time.
Okay. Anybody have any comments about that? Conversation about it?
Do we need to act on this tonight, or the only reason why I was saying is that I would probably choose to let Joe be here, even though he is not here, but on this, could we wait one more month to enact this?
That's fine with me, yeah, if
I mean,
you
it's
choose to
not
do
a-
that.
yeah.
It's not killing us
I
either
kind of
way.
agree, it was Joe's wording.
Joe's
he wanted-
wording, it's, I wanna make sure it's right for, as far as he's concerned, cause that was what he was concerned with. Especially in relating to the school-related activity and all this, and the like, so. I mean, he's our resident attorney, if you wanna call it that, so. I mean, I don't know why it would hurt us to wait.
Yeah, I don't think it
I
would.
mean, you don't have any pending situations or anything like that, do you, Steve?
No, not at this point.
Everything's- okay.
Okay, then we'll put that one over
Table
till
that.
next time, yeah, okay. So moving on to new business,
The amendment of the 2015-16 Moreno contract. The contract was supposed to set a limit of $18,000 that could be spent this fiscal year, and we're going to go over that. So this amendment will allow us to go over it and pay Pedro. We've spent 15,000 of the 18,000, but he gives me an invoice quarterly, and he's already up to $8,000 on that invoice, and there's some more stuff that we'd like him to do. So this amendment would allow us to go up to a maximum of $30,000. This was prepared by our attorney, and I know we talked about this before, but he said that a maintenance and repair contract can go up to $84,000 without requiring any bidding process.
Oh, okay.
And these are just multiple items that you are having fixed, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Maintenance stuff, yeah, so it's not one big chunk, it's a bunch of small.
it's a bunch of small things. Right now,
It's
he
the
and,
cost of having a building that old.
yeah. Right now, him and his assistant are repainting all the shelves in the Carnegie. So that's kind of his big project right now that he's working on.
so is there any other comment on this item? Is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And the next thing is just to prepare the agreement for next year for 2016-17 with the same contractor. And there's a limit of $30,000 that can be spent next year unless we choose to amend it later in the year.
Okay.
So this is exactly the same except for the different dates?
Yes, the amendment will take us to the end of this fiscal year, and the next
This
one
is the
will
one
start
for
next year.
16-17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor? Aye, motion passes. Approval of minutes. Does anybody have any corrections or changes to the minutes from March 10th meeting? Nope. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. And that brings us to the end of our agenda. Anything for the next agenda? Any board member comments? Anything else, Steve?
No, that's all.
All right, great, meeting adjourned.